Bienvenue! My name is Niamh Dunne and I am the writer behind Honest Living. I received my MA in screenwriting from Royal Holloway in 2020, and since then I've been building up my portfolio of comedy and comedy drama scripts for film and television. I've also garnered a number of accolades for my work, including placing joint third at the Manchester Film Festival Screenplay Competition, a semi-finalist for Short Scripts, Screencraft and the Script Lab competitions, as well as placing in the top 26% of applicants to the BBC Writers' Academy. I also have a brand new play in development that's due to be performed in autumn of this year.
Honest Living is a British comedy about two millennial women who must exact revenge on a wealthy scammer after getting caught using their art degrees for crime. Split between London and the beautiful French Riviera, it's a little bit romantic, a little bit heisty, and full of budget-friendly, ethically grey glamour. We open in London, Christie's auction house to be more specific. Our heroines Constance and Merle are attempting to sell a fake Gainsborough, which the former has painted. When the Christie's staff discover the pieces are fake, they must make a swift exit. One rent payment later on a single studio and a trip to the big Tesco, all seems well, until they're summoned to the Kensington address of hotelier Bonnie Yerman. She caught them at Christie's, and in exchange for her silence, she wants something in return. Duped out of half her fortune by a billionaire named Theo Holland, she wants Merle to get it back by any means possible, and Constance to fill her French hotel with forgeries of famous paintings to drum up business. And if they don't, Christie's is just a phone call away. And so they depart for Beaulieu-sur-Mer, the glittering diamond in the crown of the Côte d'Azur. Merle, tasked with charming billionaire Theo, glimpses a life she never thought she'd have, and the more excessive it gets, the higher the bill rises, the more she never wants to leave. A burned-out Constance is stuck with his bodyguard, one Harrison Clark, who is already suspicious of their motivations. Except he's much nicer than he lets on and clearly wants to spend more time with her. They plan to get Bonnie's money back through expensive gifts and total up hundreds of thousands in shoes, clothes and jewellery from Theo. And then he lets slip he's purchased the infamous Red Scarlet, a $23 million necklace, more than enough to total their debt. Merle wants it, but a demanding body has given Constance cold feet, and so she plots to steal the necklace and bolt. Only then do they accidentally learn that the jewellery Theo has been giving them is totally fake. With the BA in fine art, 27-year-old Constance is a master mimic. But painting other people's work has burned her out, and she's tired of the cycle, especially since it's not building their savings. Constance is the brains, the introvert, the one always thinking 2 steps ahead. She is thoughtful, decisive, controlled, even when there's a chance for her to let loose. Their livelihood always comes first. With the BA in fashion design for women, 28-year-old Merle is also a brand mimic, but with clothes. Always well dressed and put together, she's the can-do, spontaneous, lively contrast to her best friend. But she longs for a life so much grander than the one she has. One of luxury and excess that's probably going to get her killed when society falls. A wealthy hotelier who owns a string of 5-star locales across the world, Bonnie knows a good deal when she sees one. She also knows that someone at her level doesn't do their own dirty work, they get others too. And Constance and Merle have tumbled rather conveniently into her lap. Bonnie might be slightly gullible when it comes to good deals, but she's also an expert in the long game of revenge. A jewellery dealer in the lap of luxury, the image of Theo's wealth is far more important to him than growing it. The world is his oyster, and he wants the pearls on a platter. Manipulative and charming, well, the prettiest ones always are. He treats his employees badly, works best when blackmailing, and uses those around him to get what he wants. A nice smile can hide a myriad of red flags. Stoic, reserved, and always seen in the same charcoal suit, Theo's personal protection officer isn't there for the fun of it. Blackmailed by Theo into staying indefinitely, no matter how bad he's treated, his natural sense of suspicion and cynicism make Constance and Merle his prime targets. But with Constance he finds a friend, which then develops into something more. He finds it difficult to trust people or let them get too close, lest they discover something they don't like. Honest Living is a glamorous, escapist comedy that blends romance, heist, and over-the-top wealth in a stunning locale. But beneath the beauty, there's a story of female friendship, of the struggles people have getting into the creative industries, finding a mutual romantic connection, and the plight of Generation Rent. I'm more convinced than ever that right now we need escapism, we need light, and we need the bad guys getting what's coming to them. The film was also inspired by my own experiences coming out of university with a creative degree and struggling to get my foot in the door, as well as the experiences of my friends who did all sorts of things to make ends meet as they worked towards their dreams. It's a weird limbo between training and succeeding, and we'd all probably turn to scams in desperate times. Female friendship is at the very core of this script. Some of my most powerful relationships have come from friends. Indeed, Constance and Mel's dynamic was inspired by my best friend and I. Spoiler, I'm the Constance. Think Grace and Frankie if they knew each other in their 20s, a pair that seems so different, but it's their differences that make their friendship so strong. Think Lorelai and Dorothy in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes going after diamonds, or Thelma and Louise with a bond stronger than the law. It also takes the baton from the aesthetically beautiful female-led heist movies like Ocean's 8, paired with the fast-paced witty dialogue of classic Hollywood like How to Marry a Millionaire, seasoned with the deep friendship bonds of Booksmart and the European glitz and glamour of The Princess Diaries too, and you've got Honest Living.
Appearing on the UK Hub List 2023 is actually the first accolade that Honest Living has received, and I'm delighted that it's resonating well with readers. It's had some great notes from peer reviewers and from friends, and I now think it's in the best place possible to advance to a greater level of development. As it was written on spec, there are currently no other talent attached, so I would be looking for further development opportunities as well as potential financing opportunities in the future. All that's left for me to say is thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and I look forward to hearing from some of you potentially in the future. Merci beaucoup.